Welcome to my session. I guess most of you know me already. I'm Sven. I'm from the customer success department at Staffbase, so I'm not from the sales department. And I actually also in the past working a lot with our customers. I missed that in the last couple of years because I focus more on strategy topics and enable our team internally to have more expertise about enterprise customers, internet and communication platforms. And today I want to talk about co-delivery. Normally also Corinna will join the session here. She is our Director of Onboarding Project Lead at Staffbase. Okay. Onboarding lead, and she of course works much often with customers and with you, with partners actually, together with on our projects, and she have more experience. So if you have some questions I can't answer today, I will take it with me, and of course then we have the chance also to talk together with Corey about these topics. Okay. Great. So I have 4 main topics here. First, I would like to start with the basics. That means, again, a little bit recap from yesterday about our onboarding approach, what we are doing at Staffbase with our customers, in the past also with our partners. It's a little bit of recap from yesterday with a little bit more details, and I also have some time for questions, if there are still some questions about that, what I explained yesterday. The second one is, why we have this new program, co-delivery, the why, the what, and how. And then, of course, how you will get a co-delivery partner for us, because it's really important that we have some criteria. We have to make sure that everything is running really well. And actually, when we have this kind of co-delivery projects together, that we not have much more effort on our side, because actually we want to decrease our effort on our side and want to give you more opportunities to have more consulting services with our customers. Okay, let's start. This is just a high-level overview about our customer journey, I will say. It always starts with the discovery phase. That is actually more like a kind of sales phase where we figure out if it's that customers looking for a Staffbase solution, intranet, front-door intranet, or employee app. And then, of course, after that, when we win our customer, or our new customer, he signs a contract, we're starting with our onboarding phase. I will talk about that later. And then normally after the onboarding phase, we're talking about increased value. That is actually the continued growth phase, what I also mentioned yesterday. It's the time after onboarding until the customer cancels the contract. Never happens, but of course it is an option. Okay. You remember the slide from yesterday? So that is actually our what customer can expect from us. Just to have a short repeat on that again. So we have an onboarding phase. So the average time for this onboarding phase is 3 to 5 months. Normally, it always depends on the customer side. If the customer have a lot of more tasks to do, like migration, he needs some internal approvals from security, from compliance, for worker council, then it could be also happens that it takes more time. It depends on the customer. But when we're talking about the onboarding phase, we're talking about the technical provision and actually also the first go live. And also the first go live and launch is sometimes different from customers. Sometimes it means I start with a big bang. Like a customer from us in Austria starts with an intranet with all employees. Sometimes they start just with non-desk worker or with office worker, with a pilot group, or some customers just start with one country, with one division, and then they roll out to the other divisions, right? So it always depends on the project. And then when we continue this project, we have our CSMs. I will talk about that later. And of course, we have our customer care, our third level support. Okay. And here just, I will share the slide later on. We don't have to read everything. So we have our onboarding project team. We have the strategic advisory team. That's actually my team. We just jump in really big deals. We're talking about deals with a lot of employees, like 100,000 or more employees. And we're also working really closely with our partners. It makes totally sense, right? Because with the DHL project, I showed you yesterday, we had one customer and there was minimum 8 partners involved in the whole project. And I still just help the customer and to help the partners to bring the best solution for the customers in the background. So that means I had a lot of talks with partners behind the scenes, talk to them, make sure that we have the same understanding. And then, of course, a partner can also have the direct consulting service to the customer. Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Is that a slide that you would usually show to prospects?
No, it's the internet slide.
But how does the prospect learn about the partner network from your perspective?
In the sales process, we have something. You remember what Johan tried to show with this slide where was content missing, and Patrick shows a real slide, and you can see that we have a big partner network. And what we also try to figure out, and that is why we need a lot of projects together with you, that we ask this question already in the sales phase. We ask the customer, are you ready to do this project? Because the most important thing, actually what also come up in the session with Frank, we just providing a solution, a platform. So the success depends on the content, right? And we can't fix the communication issue when a customer has this kind of issues, We can just provide the best solution for them to help them to have the best communication, the best front to internet, but we can't solve the internal communication issues. And to figure out this kind of things, to figure out if they need some resources, we talk to the customer, to the prospects, and then we also explain, if you need some more help, we can give you some partners, depends on what kind of service you need. And then we already say, okay, we have some partners, let us know when you know. And then we share some partners with them, and then you have the chance to also have a pitch kind of thing, and then you maybe get also an offering to provide some services. Yeah. Okay. So I think that is more important because that is like a little bit more in detail compared to yesterday. Here you can see actually our Staffbase onboarding approach. That starts with a project kickoff. Of course, every project has to start with a kickoff. That means 1 hour session together with our onboarding project team, so onboarding project lead, the customer success manager, and of course the technical onboarding engineer. Then the most important things what we have to do is the app setup, so the distribution method. That means we can public our apps in the public app stores. We also support download page, and we also support internal company app stores. I guess it's called MDM, yeah, something like that. Managed internal stores. We can provide everything. We have like a kind of technical specific form. That means we need a lot of information to build the apps for the public app stores. App icon, the name of the app, a kind of app store description, yeah, because if you download the app in your app stores, you always see like a description, and this is actually what we all need, yeah. We need branding graphics for that. We ask for customization. That means we can also do some localizations, so some specific login mask for our customers if they have a different wording, because not every customer say, here, log in with your email address. We also can say, log in with your personal ID number, something like that. Yeah, that is all possible. And of course, the most important thing, we actually need also a public area. I'm not sure if you have any experience about that, because that is why we can also provide our app in the public app stores. We also provide a public area, and this public area is like a minimum criteria that we can bring in our apps in the public app store, because it should be also some content for all people of the world, yeah, not just for the employees. And some customers use that really in a good way for also to provide some job offerings, to have like external communication, for example, and some just create some content to make sure that we also comes in the app store, but they also have to update all the time this content. That's quite important. And the next step, actually, based on this information, we build the app and provide the platform via web access, via URL, and also provide this app into app stores, Google Store, and actually iOS Store. And that is actually something, the app build and review, that is something what we have to do also in the future, yeah? Because we are a standard solution, a SaaS provider, and we have to make sure, and we will provide this app, and we have a lot of experience with that in the public app store. Okay, and then you can already see the next topic is really important, the user management. So we have to talk to the customer because we also provide a lot of things, like Azure ID synchronization, also SCIMP. It's really coming now in the future. It's really popular, I would say, the next step. And we just configure everything on our side. If a customer has some issues on their side with the Azure ID or with some other topics, we will not solve this kind of problem. We just make sure that we just say, okay, you want to use Azure, we activated this kind of things on our side, and then the customer can use it. Yeah. And then, of course, that could be a little bit misunderstanding here, content. We just do some, I would say, some, what I mentioned yesterday, basic content training and admin training, so the 2-hour sessions, I would say, and to empower the project core team to understand how to use the systems, nothing more. And then, of course, the customer, of course, have to provide the content. We are not creating any content. That is not our task. That is just part of the Staffbase onboarding approach because we can't go live without any content. Makes not sense at all, yeah. But it's not our task, yeah. It's just part of the onboarding approach, but it's not what we are responsible for that. The customer have to take care about that, and we always just push the customer, take care about the content, get some friendly users, for example, and if you prepare for everything, then we can also have the launch, yeah? And then it really depends on the customer, if we're talking about 3 months, 5 months, or 6 months, yeah? And our task is just really the technical provision, and what we are doing, our meeting structure is actually we have this kickoff. We have an IT session where our technical onboarding engineer talks to the IT to understand, okay, what we have to set up for the user management. And then actually we have some separated session for the content training and for best practices. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 or 4 sessions. And then the only thing what we have for the whole onboarding phase, we have a duo fix, a weekly duo fix, 1 hour, together with the OPL, the onboarding project lead, and with the customer success manager, just to make sure that we that we're on the right way with our projects, that they all do the work what they have to do, and then all the other things. So this is a dual fix. Yeah? That is actually what we are doing. And hopefully it's done after 3-4 months, and then, of course, the customers go live. Okay, so any question about that? That is our standard onboarding approach. That is what we provide with partner, without partner. Any questions about that? Yeah. Oh.
For the public phase you have, do you guys maintain all? You do all the maintenance going forward every release after that?
Yes. Although, what is
Like the store.
battery, not solo battery. What we're providing is also every quarter a new app release, yeah? And we also make sure that when iOS bring a new update on that, we also make sure that our app is working with this update. Yeah? That is actually part of the licenses, part of our SaaS solution, that we bring always every 3 months app release with new features, and we make sure that if something changed on the Google side, on the Android side, or on the iOS side, that with our app is working. Yeah. And this service, we can take care about that for the customers. Some customers, enterprise customers, take care about it themselves, yeah, because they own the store account. Yeah.
And is there like a QA period for the customer?
Sorry?
Is there a QA period for the customer? So every quarter you release a new one. Do they have like 30 days to look at it?
Yeah.
You release it?
Yeah. Normally, if we do it by ourselves, we just publish this app, right? If a customer take care about it, of course, like DHL has that, like they do some internal tests and they need some internal approvals. That means after we launch our newest app release, they start to roll out the app release like 3 or 4 weeks later. Yeah, it's their decision. Yeah, right. And what is also really interesting, next to the native app releases, we always have web app releases actually every day. So we update our solution every day, not with always bigger features, but you can see a lot of improvements in the studio every day or every 1 or 2 weeks, right? Okay, any other question about that? Is that clear? No. Okay, the most important thing, technical provision, nothing more. We share best practices. Best practice means just what other customer do really well as use cases, because we have this insight of like 1,000 customers and more, yeah? And, but the customer have to take care about the content, yeah? And actually, if it will talk to you now, normally the technical provision also finish after 2 or 3 months. Yeah? If you provide the app are ready for the app stores, then actually our onboarding part is already done. Yeah? Because then all the other things the customer have to do, yeah, to prepare the launch for the go live. Okay. Now we talk about co-delivery. So that means we have 2 scenarios how to involve a partner in the onboarding phase. The first one is the partner support, the additional support next to our onboarding approach. That means we have a customer, we start to work with the customer, and then we already identify that the customer needs some more support. That is what I mean yesterday with additional work packages. That means we had this scenario with one of our customers now in Munich. We did the onboarding approach, a consulting agency provide 30-40 person days to find a structure, to find a content cluster, to define the information architecture, all the other things, to do the enablement sessions. Yeah, that is one thing. That means we take care still about the whole onboarding approach, and partner comes to the customer, helps them, and we do it together. The other thing, and that is actually the partner onboarding, that is the co-delivery approach. That's a little bit different. That means you will take care, or we will hand over a lot of tasks, what I explained you in the slides before about all the app specification. You will take care about that. We don't have any direct contact to the customers. You as a partner are the single point of contact to the customers. We are in the background. Yeah, that means we will reduce our OPL task. We will reduce our CSM task. We still need the technical onboarding engineer. We remember we have to build the app also in the future. You can't do that. It's our task. But if you have any questions, you can contact us, right? So that means, and we are also in the background, and we want that provide you all information. That means also we have a B-weekly, for example, internally between the partner and our onboarding team. But you are the single point of contact to the customers. That's really important. That is the co-delivery approach. Why we do this kind of things? We believe better together. That means actually we want to grow together. I did a lot of software evaluation in my former company as a consultant for intranets. And we know if you make business with us, and you have also some requests of information, requests of proposal for maybe a new intranet project, and you also as part of the strategy advisory consultant to find the right IT strategy for them. Of course, you have also some more solution platforms in your portfolio. If you make business with us, then you also see us more in maybe in the strategy to say, okay, you need also Staffbase next to a Microsoft, and it's maybe better compared to other solutions like Halo, yeah? Something like that. The other thing is we want to make a strategy and footprint. That means actually we want to give you the chance to get in the contact with the customer, to create a trust, to build up a trust with the customers. And if you are good with this onboarding approach, because that is actually where you can come in always, you can also sell more professional service in the future. Yeah. And actually we need, of course, some more support with enterprise customers. They really have a lot of requirements. So what means we just do this co-delivery for employee app projects and for intranet projects, not for email, not for Valo. It's not our task, and also not for Dirco yet. Yeah, this is really important. We will build the app. That's the only thing what we are doing. You will take care about all the other tasks. That means if you decide to have with the customer geofixes, if you decide to have the enablement session, that is actually what you will take care. We will go in the background. And use a single point of contact. We will provide you with a bi-weekly geofix internally, to make sure that we answer all your questions. If you have some questions, if you need some help, and if you have questions about what our other customers are doing, right? What we normally do then as a CSM, they say, okay, this customer did this kind of use case, this customer has this solution for that. We will share that with you if you have this kind of questions, and then you can present this kind of things to the customers, Because I think it's really important that you are the trust partner for them and not us. Okay, here's just the process. I think I can jump over. What is really important for us, but we just have the first experience with that. It's working really well with smaller and mid-sized companies, I would say. Everything between like 500 employees to 5,000 or 10,000. Because they also have more or less requirements, I would say. They are quite easy. Everything works. They don't need direct contact to our product team, I would say. Because we have bigger customers. They say, I want to talk directly to Staffbase about product and about the roadmap. The smaller and mid-sized companies don't have this request normally, or we not accept this kind of things. But of course, with a larger enterprise, we have some troubles. Sometimes they already want that also Staffbase is in this whole onboarding project. That's fine. I think we have enough tasks to support them. I think it's fine also with the normal onboarding approach. And also when we have some, I would say, critical project, like what Frank mentioned yesterday, we have a Valo customer, and now this customer wants to roll out an employee app. And this is actually, we have to done this in 2 months. So for that, we really need, we have to really push the customer, and we have to make sure that we not lost any time between talking. When you have some questions, you can't answer to the customer, you have to come back to us. That costs too much time. We have to make sure that it's really fast, and in this scenario, we also believe it's better to have the normal onboarding approach together with a partner for additional service then. Yeah? Johan, you want to say something?
I don't know if you have a mic or I can just speak up like this. Okay. Small one. Yeah, I wanted to add a couple of remarks on the code delivery, when it's suitable and when it's not suitable. So we can obviously make those kinds of exceptions and look at partnerships uniquely. What policy says is that you have to be the highest level of alliance partner in order for us to open the door for the code delivery. You were gonna come to that, maybe. Sorry. And the other one I want to say here is that if it's a non-core market, we just discussed with a Spanish partner, just to give you an example, so we could add a bullet here, it's also suitable if it's a non-core market where our team doesn't have the capability, doesn't speak the language, or things like that. This is why I'm saying that there's a policy and then there's certain exceptions, such as video ones. Sorry if you were
No, it's good.
on the next slide.
Yeah, it's okay. I think the most important thing is really to understand, in my opinion, the onboarding approach, the code delivery, just opens the doors for you to the customers, where customer not see any task, or he wasn't aware that he needs some support actually, but we bring you in, you can show them, and you can also support more effort on that. But the real magic is actually with the additional work packages, right? If you're talking about content creation, about bigger enablement trainings, that is where you can sell more person days. Yeah? The onboarding approach, what we take care normally, it's just about 10 person days. Yeah? We will give you that, but that is also the door opener to the customer, but the most important magic is really the additional service where you can sell 20, 30, 100 person day if you want. Yeah? Yeah? Of course. And yes. So actually we have a mission, hopefully you agree with that. We really want to increase the number of the certificate partners for this code delivery. That's really important for us because we just can grow with you. We want to increase the number of the code delivery projects. And actually, in my opinion, the long-term vision is really also when we win a customer, we would like also to hand over this customer to you and you take care of the onboarding approach. Yeah? That will be the long-term version, I believe, because we can't take care of all the customers. It's not possible at all. Yeah. And sometimes it's quite interesting also for you when you have the sweet spot between 1,000 and 10,000 employees. That is actually already a small customer for us. And if you take care about them, it's perfect. And we also have the bigger ones, right? Okay. Good. Any question about that? Before I come to the next step, how you become a code delivery hero. Me too. It's Corey's picture. I'm not sure. Really?
Yes. It's like a 90s TV show.
Oh, wow. Okay, so could be explained. Yeah. Okay, any questions about the code delivery? Good. Not about the picture. Okay, how to get there. Okay. We just start with this kind of things. I did it in my former company because I was one of the first partner at Staffbase 8 years ago. There was not actually a really great customer success team. There was not a customer care team. So I did this kind already 8 years ago. But now we start to define a process to bring you more business because we have more customers. And just that you know, we have a pilot phase this year, is working really well. We get some of the first experience and we will roll out that as soon as possible. Yeah? That means to be a code delivery, you need to be a certificate partner. How to get there, I will explain in the next slide. That's really important for us because I say we want to, what do you say, not increase, decrease? Yeah? No. Disagree. We want our effort on our side. But it makes just sense when I told you we need the app name, we need app icons, all the other stuff. If you set us, for example, icons in the wrong size, in the wrong content format, whatever, we have to ask again, we have to say again, please send us the right format, something like that. And then sometimes we have more effort on our side than we thought actually. Yeah? So we have to make sure you really understand the code delivery approach, that you understand what we need to provide the technical platform. And that is why you have to make some sessions with us. Of course, we provide a lot of self-studies things. Patrick mentions this kind of things. We have the developer portal, we have the support staffbase.com page where you can read all the features, all the use cases. And of course, we also will start, we just launched that yesterday, or 2 days ago, our campus, That is a new e-learning tool for all our customers with not just knowledge about Staffbase, also knowledge about internal communication, change management, how to write really good content and all the other stuffs. Yes. And of course, just to create the foundations of one thing, to keep it up is the second thing, right? So for example, if you do a code delivery project this year and then you don't do any other projects, I'm really sure in 1 year I have to explain everything again, you know? So that means you really have to keep up all this information. You have to make sure that you maybe have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 customers for each year, that you're always up to date about the whole approach. There is not so big changes at all normally, but you really need to get this experience. And of course, you have to take care. We also see that with other partners now, that you share also this knowledge internally. Because one of our partners now get a lot of projects, and then we have now new team members we not enable, and the partner have to take care that they also enable these team members, because it's not our task, right? Okay, how to get there? We have 5 workshops, or we can also call it sessions. We have the first experience about that, really to create the foundation for you. And we also want to get a kind of recording for that, yeah? That you also can watch it later on, that we can provide you this kind of videos. So that means we were talking about onboarding project management, task planning, milestones, mode of cooperation. That is actually everything what our OPL, our onboarding project lead, normally doing with our customers. We explain you what we are doing and what you have to take care about now. Yeah? The second one is the technical onboarding engineer. That means everything what we need to build this app. We will explain you the format. That is like a specific form, I will say, with a lot of questions. You have to answer this question. You have to make sure that you get all the information from a customer. We're talking about the customer success management. What we normally are doing, our CSM have in the growth phase, we have the business review. Normally it's a quarterly review. It's 1 hour session. We share numbers, analytics. We share the new content of the app releases, so the new features, because normally we have always a app release every quarter, and we share some use cases. In my opinion, we have to do that together, because we have also some numbers, not just about the customer platform. We also share some information how they doing compared to other companies with the same industry, with the same size. And that's really interesting to see, are you under the average, over the average, are you in the middle, or how we can increase. Although I believe we really have to do it together in the future, and we also will explain that to you. We will give you some information about how you can customize our solution, because CSS is really magic. We can also do a lot of things. And when I did some SharePoint project, I guess in the past, like 10 years ago, every customer was really worried about the next update of SharePoint, because they not do it really for a long time, because then after that, the completely platform is destroyed. And we always have something we can do. Yeah? We can do some CSS adjustments. We can't do something. And there's also like another thing we can do, but we not recommend it, because then it's always a little bit scary when we have the next app release, I would say. Yeah, we will also explain it to you, because you also can take care about that if you have some CSS knowledge in your company. Okay, and for me, my passion is actually information architecture. When we're talking about audience segmentation, you really have to understand the company. I don't have to explain that to you. You are the experts on this area. But what we want to share you in this session is how to find the best solution within Staffbase for that, right? So if you have an information architecture, if you have a governance with the customer, if you say, okay, this is our segmentations, we have a lot of options to cover this kind of things, our solution. We have to present this kind of things to you, and then you can always discuss with the customer what is the best solution for that. Yeah. And if you do this kind of things 1 or 2 times with the customer, then you are also the expert to find the right solution, our solution. Yeah. Okay. Here are just some examples. The first session is about technical onboarding engineer. We're talking about what we need from you, what kind of information. Here you can see the customizations guidelines, what you can do with our systems and what you can't do with our systems, what we mean with localizations. Localization, I mentioned that before, is we also have some opportunities to change some labels, to customize some labels, so the wording of something in the UI. And we see also our CSM approach, what I mean with the business review. And here you can see, for example, I created this kind of slide like 2 years ago, where we see different kind of use cases with different kind of customers. And we talked about, okay, Is it a global intranet? Is it a local intranet? Who is responsible for that? How many rights the units, corporate units, business units on division should get, yeah? So we have a construct, it's called Spaces. We have something like, it's called Discover Open Group. That is really a big USP compared to others. So actually we also replaced now our intranet, it was based on SharePoint with live tiles. And the customer stops this project and say it's not working at all because they can't support what they promised in the sales phase. And now we set up a front door intranet based on SharePoint. And that is really important that you have to understand that, because that is actually what I mean with advanced things to find the best solution with this kind of things. And we do this kind of sessions. We already have some good experience with that. Yeah, I think Claudia also joined the session, and this is actually what we prepare now to roll out to all code delivery partners as soon as possible. Okay? That's it. Any questions about that? Okay.
I have two questions. I can speak up, it's fine. Would you say from your perspective, it's always best if partners want to move into local delivery if they shadow a certain amount of projects first to understand how it works, or you say attending the workshop is fine and enough?
I think this is right a little bit complicated because we have to ask the customer then, right? We can't just bring
their
you.
own customer projects, preferably their own customer projects.
I think we can do it together. In my opinion, I did it with one of our smaller partners in Dresden. Actually, we try to enable the partner always before we have this kind of workshop, and then you are in the lead in this workshop, and we just as a backup. We will help you with that, of course. Yeah, but I think, in my opinion, you should be in the lead. Yeah, but we can support you, we can join the sessions, and in case there's some questions, we can also help you with that. Yeah, but I think we have to spend more time in the preparation that you can already explain something.
And then another question around our professional service packages, like professional support packages. I think that's the word. Can you explain what this is all about? Because there are questions around that.
Okay, don't call it professional service. It's not professional service. We have like a premium success package and premium success package plus. And the main reason to buy this package is actually in this package we provide 24/5 hour support with our customers. That's really important for international customers because normally you just get a DACH customer just get DACH hours support in the DACH time and the North America in the North America time zone. But we have a lot of international customers who need this more attended additional support. And that is actually the main reason why a customer should buy PASP. Yeah? The other thing is we also provide more app releases. That means if a customer has to change the name of the app, for example, because they have an internal rebranding, he can't wait for the next app release. Yeah? Then, of course, we can also provide additional app release during the bigger main releases, I would say. Yeah, this is actually what we are doing. It's really related to customer care. Normally, it makes also sense. It really depends on your business. If you also take care about third level support, I'm not sure about that. Otherwise, of course, a customer can also buy PSP and you still have the consulting service, right? Because we're just talking about third level support. Okay, there was other question?
Yeah, my question was for the code delivery. Is code delivery only for the clients that the partner brings in? Or can you work on clients that you guys just don't want to handle and you will make the introduction?
Actually both, right? So we,
now, it's only the customers that the partners bring.
yeah.
Long term, we would try to handle the customers.
Yeah, because normally, what is the sales process? Normally, we have two options. We win a deal and we figure out that the customer needs some more support, then we have this partner support, the additional work packages, right? And then we have a lot of partners, they also bring us some needs. Yeah, that means I have a customer, he's interested in Staffbase, I want to take care about that. I will win the deal for you, then you also get some shares. We got this information here yesterday also from you. And in this case, it's normally the partners also want to be the single point of contact. Yeah, and that is why we believe that is the main scenario. Then you will take care about that. But in the other scenario, that is actually a long-term version. Yeah, that we also give you some deals from the beginning.
And with that, if you're doing code delivery, do you guys have a set pricing for that based on the size of the deal?
Yes. Normally, when you have, so, and that is also much more easier in this case when you have your deal, because then maybe we have to make sure normally we have an onboarding fee. This is 10,000 euro. And this 10,000 euros actually covers this kind of basic technical provision of the app, right? So the Jura fixes, all the other things. We're talking in general about 10 to 15 days, yeah? And I think we will delete this kind of things when you have like a co-delivery approach, because then you can provide 10 or 15 or 20 days to do this kind of onboarding approach, yeah? And that is why, I mean, it's a door opener for you, for customers, yeah? We have customers, they already say, I need much more support. I will get an offer for also content migration, for enablement, 100% days, whatever, yeah? And if the customer don't see this, is not aware about this kind of things, then you can start to provide this onboarding approach. You can help them to identify some open points, for example, and then, of course, you can also provide more support services, yeah?
But you said that it was 10,000 euro standard.
10,000 euro, yeah.
And now you said 10 to 15 days.
Our internal planning is actually that we spend around 10 to 15 days for the whole onboarding approach. Yeah? Just calculate, if you're talking about the average time for the onboarding from 3 to 5 months, we have the weekly Jura fix with 3 team members, and it's already like 5 to 10 days just for the Jura fixes, right? So that is actually what we have like an internal planning. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah?
I still don't get it. Co-delivery means that there's always, in any case, you are part of the project. There's no project where you do basically, besides like providing core features like rolling out the app, is there a scenario doing nothing but that?
That is actually co-delivery. What we are doing with co-delivery, we just build the app for you, yeah? And for the customers, you do all the other things. We have no direct contact anymore to the customer.
Okay.
The only thing what I learned also in the last days, we have to discuss that, is the third level support. Because I have some discussion with some existing co-delivery partners about that, because sometimes it's quite hard, because if a customer have business questions, can you explain me again to create a good page? For what kind of use case I can use a form plugin, for example? That is actually consulting services. But if you have some issues, some downtime, you know what I mean? Then of course, it takes too much time to contact you, then you contact us, then it's actually better to dive, yeah? Yeah.
We can think of a project where we just, I mean, oversimplifying things right now, but where we just need you to provision the app. So
Yes.
you hand over a couple of parameters, and you're done.
Yeah.
Everything else stays with us.
Yes.
Except from third-party support or third-level support.
Yeah.
Between what you want on the language. So.
Yeah, correct. So that means the co-delivery really means you take care about everything, no direct contact to us, and you just give us the whole information what we need to build the app. We build the app, give you the information, we build the app, and here you can continue working.
You mentioned in my mind that it would be the equivalent to, I need a large account reseller to get some licenses from Microsoft, but after that I'm alone in that environment as well. So that's the equivalent over here. I need your licenses and I need your help to push the app to the App Store.
Yes.
And done and dusted.
Exactly.
Okay?
I think this is really good for you. Yeah, so you can start, because yeah, we are in the second row, and the good thing is, for the onboarding approach, we still your backup. That means if you have any questions, maybe you don't know some things, you can ask us. That is why we provide you with a B-weekly. It's also our time that we say we have a B-weekly 1 hour session where we just ask where is the status of the project, because we also want to make sure that everything running really well. Otherwise, we get some information in 1 year. Oh, customer so unhappy, he will churn. That is actually not our target, right? Yeah. But that is also just your backup support for you. But we don't have any direct contact.
Do you want to learn about how all partners do this already? Pia from Virtual Discount, like a got on here. You can ask her. She's working with us.
It would be tough to ask a competitor, right?
I mean, she's working in that maybe.
Yeah, me too. So.
I mean, we're there to learn from each other. I think there is enough room for everyone. Yes.
Sven, get it right, but we have for the whole lifetime of customers, we have the customer success manager at the back.
Yes, always in the back. And what I believe, what we can discuss is, we would like to join this when you continue to support the customers, the quarterly review, for example. I will always recommend to do it together, right? Because we have some more insights. We have these insights from 200 and 1,000 customers, right? We will share it with you, and we will share it with That's it.
On the other hand, we do, to be totally honest, we do projects that are way more complex than just the employee case with Microsoft technology. You can imagine how many have to get from Microsoft services. That's all closed. So we survive pretty damn good so far. So I'm not seeing the need of onboarding phase. You need to learn the tools, stay up to date, learning new stuff, of course, but I don't need someone that holds my hand all the time.
Yeah, that's true. I really agree with that. Yeah. But the good thing is, you are in a really good position because all our customers have both things, right? A front-end internet maybe based on Staffbase, and they always have a Microsoft 365 rollout, yeah? And I mentioned that yesterday, we have also customers, they have two partners for both things, right? There's a partner, they report for the Microsoft 365 rollout, and then we have other partners at the same time to roll out a front-end internet based on Staffbase, yeah? And actually, in my opinion, it would be great if you can do both, right? So you are as a trusted partner for both, for the IT and for the internal communication.
Depends on the size, of course, but yes.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions? You want to add something?
I don't want to add anything, no.
Okay,
Great
good.
presentation.
Good. Also if you have any questions, the single point of contact, of course, is our partner management, but we really want to push that more in the future. That means we try to have our partner management and you as much as possible in the next couple of months with Corey, the onboarding project lead, and me and my team, because we want to make sure that you get the best support from us to have the first customers. And what I really mean is, let's start to get some customers. We don't have to wait for the bigger ones, then we're waiting for 6 months, for example, sometimes, yeah. Let's start with also smaller customers, get some experience, and then you will see you will grow really fast, yeah.
Yeah, I actually do want to add something. So speaking of let's get customers, I want to say special thanks to our friend Steven, who during this meeting, I believe, registered a Staffbase lead with an existing logo.
Got the stuff to say as well, so yeah.
So thank you. Good stuff.
Okay. Any last questions? Okay. Then we are done. Fine.